Hey, everybody, Steve Moran and Douglas Yates, the BTC Guru. We're live on a Monday. How we doing?
Doing awesome. Had a wonderful weekend. Good, nice, calm weekend.
Yeah,
Spent a
mine
lot
was
of time.
pretty calm. Mine was pretty calm too. Not doing a lot. Watched a little bit of golf, and actually, I don't know what I did. I think I was playing with my kid. I hurt my knee,
Oh,
so
bummer.
my
That's
knee's
not
been.
good.
No, that's not good because I got golf coming up here.
Hey, did you
Yeah,
see that? I think it was last weekend, but I don't know what tournament it was. Where that caddy twisted his ankle and it was like out in the middle of the round.
yeah,
Is that crazy? Like that his guy is like, what do I do now? I don't even have a caddy.
Well, I know. I mean, in the Olympics, they actually had a couple of caddies that had to quit in the middle of the round because of heat exhaustion and like almost like heat stroke.
Really?
So yeah, they literally, they usually got friends or somebody in the family that's following them around. So usually that person ends up throwing a bag over their shoulders and
That's hilarious.
carrying it around. It's funny because I listened to a podcast that I listen to regularly, one of the golf podcasts, and these guys. One of the guys who was doing the podcast, he actually went out and caddied for a friend of his in a PGA tournament. And they asked him, his caddy was going to be somewhere for some other qualifying for something. And they said, hey, would you mind, caddying? And he's like, yeah. And he goes, I didn't know what I was fucking getting myself into, man. He goes, I'm used to driving in a golf cart. He goes, I never walked more than about 15 feet.
Oh, wow.
He goes, I had to walk 18 holes, 5 days in a row, carrying a giant bag. And he's like, oh man, he goes, I have so much more respect for those guys now that run around and do all that stuff. It's just
no, that's the hard work. Behind the star, that's the hard work that's going on.
Oh yeah, that really is the hard work. It was fun watching. Yesterday there was this playoff. It was epic playoff. It was one of the final events of the year in the playoffs, and Cantley and Chabot had a six or seven hole playoff. And it was kind of like the David versus Goliath, right? DeChambeau's like, he hits the ball farther than anybody. He's hitting it like 40 yards past the guy every time, and he's hitting like a 6-iron and the other guy's hitting a pitching wedge. But the other guy just kept making miles of putts. He just kept making these putts and just, just showing so much heart. And then he ultimately ended up, on the fifth playoff hole, DeChambeau, who's the long bomber, hits it like 4 feet away for birdie on this par 3. The other guy gets up behind him, hits it 2 feet away.
Oh wow!
And it's like, but then the other guy ended up.
I saw that clip. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Oh, it was pretty crazy, and yeah. So like David actually slayed Goliath yesterday.
Yeah.
But they said that he did it because he holed over 550 feet of putts in 4 days. Okay, wow, which is amazing. Like, since they've been keeping track of that, that's like the most putts ever. So it's like, okay, guy had the best putting week ever. And see, these two guys, when it finished, they were both at like 27 under par, and I think second place was 22.
Oh, geez, like,
wow. The best guys in the world, 5 shots ahead, and then they got to go this long playoff. It was really kind of a shame that anybody had to lose because they both, anytime neither one of them had ever shot more than like 23 under, which is kind of like, that usually wins no matter where you're at. Right.
Right.
So it was just fun. Good theater.
Yeah. Golf's an interesting game because you could be a killer driver, off the tee and win there, but you lose because your putting's off.
You put so much pressure on a guy when you hit the ball that far. Right.
Right.
Yeah. But then all of a sudden because you're usually the furthest away, since you're hitting that longer club in, you're usually the first, further away. So he might stuff it to 6 feet, but you're 20 feet away. And this happened a couple of times. He made the 20-footer, and he makes the guy make it to tie him. And it's like, because you really make that 6-footer look like a 10-footer after you drain one in front of him.
Yeah.
He's feeling real good, and then all of a sudden you make that putt, and you're like, oh God.
And I saw this short clip. Actually was this morning with Elon Musk, and he was talking about, hey, do you want to wake up? He's talking about, doing your passion and doing something that you're very passionate about.
Right.
And he's like, you want to wake up every day into bad news and be depressed and just listen to that stuff, that just negativity that's out there in the world right now? Or do you want to wake up and do something exciting, something that could potentially change your life and other people's lives?
Right.
I'd rather do the other. Don't fall into this this pit of negativity and kind of believing and following, what's in the mainstream. There's a lot of negative stuff even today out there.
Well, that's why I don't even watch the news. I mean, if you get up and you just start watching the news, that's all they show is the negative stuff. They never show any positive stuff. It's just all bad stuff,
Because it in reality, this is a cliche, but you can make your own reality. Us as the people can get together, and that's why blockchain is so awesome, because it provides a platform for you to do stuff that you can be passionate about.
Right. I mean, and now, I mean, because of, everything that kind of has evolved, like with what we're doing, I mean, we're going to be able to help communities out there turn into economies, okay, into real true economies. It's going to be pretty amazing, and the more I keep hearing about these NFTs, the more excited I get, I mean, I saw Visa just spent $150,000 to buy an NFT. And, the only reason they bought it is an investment. Looking at Fortune magazine, they're like, Rolexes and Lamborghinis are like yesterday, it's like NFTs are like the new digital flexing your muscles. Right. And the fact we're going to have the NFTs, NFT exchange along with the crypto exchange. I'm just getting even more and more excited and thinking about all the value that these charities and nonprofits and things are sitting on right now, because they've already got people that believe in what they're doing, So, I mean, it's just like the record people that go out, they got a big community, they put together an NFT, in an hour, they'll go raise $1 million because they have that community. Okay. And, of all the things out there now that are really buzzing as much as anything, there's nothing that's got quite the numbers jumping as what these NFTs are doing, right? It's like, these things are just are popping. Like they slowed down for a while when Bitcoin was peaking, but now like they're really picking up and people are really starting to pay notice. I think the athletes and entertainers and all these kinds of people that have ever got content they've ever done in their past, have got to be starting to think about, God, how could I do this? How could I actually do this? And that's where a lot of opportunity lies.
Yeah, for those of you out there that has a long-standing business, maybe it's a brick and mortar business that you're having trouble, keeping afloat in this digital world, or just something that's just, it was going good in the past, but it's not going so good right now. It's a way to reinvent your business. It's just to rewrap your product or whatever your success. It could be a story, it could be anything, and wrap it in an NFT and put it out there and see what happens. I mean, it's what, and we'll go into more detail, how do I actually do that? And as we're going through this use case and showing you guys, how to implement this stuff, but it's truly exciting that you could really this next 2 years is going to be amazing, because there's going to be a lot of transfer of wealth from one area to another area that never had wealth before. I read a headline on some of the article about Saudi Arabia is thinking about not having a dollar-based economy, which is huge. I mean, there's already smaller countries moving off the dollar, and when somebody like Saudi Arabia says maybe we're going to go to a euro or something else, or secure a metal-based type of fiat currency, that's a huge blow to the American dollar, and which I think the writing's on the wall with that. So it's going to be crazy, that transition time. And so, I personally believe during a time like this where there could potentially be a transition like that off of a powerhouse dollar and into something else. During that transition period, that's where the heat is. It's where the most heat is. And that's the time to get in. Before that is to prepare yourself by getting into something like, cryptocurrency. And then after that, be able to just, kind of go with the flow and see what happens after that. But I think there's some crazy times coming up in the cryptocurrency and the blockchain and, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Wheels, all these coins are going to be a great place to, expand your future, your financial future with.
Yeah. I was reading an article here just before we got on, and it was an interview with Facebook's chief crypto person.
Yeah.
Right?
I saw that.
It's what we talked about before. It's like, they had, they came out with this Libra and, they thought they wanted to do what they wanted to do, but as the article said, it continues to be delayed over regulatory concerns. Okay.
Yeah.
And again, it's like we talked about before, when you become a publicly traded company, okay, you are now a centralized entity pretty much. Okay. And the government has their hands in of whatever you can and can't do. So it's really difficult. Now they're trying to do something, I guess, where they can actually start to maybe start do something with NFTs. They're thinking about that range of things now. They're certainly not thinking about the coin, because that they really can't do that. They're trying to figure out how to do it without doing it, because you can't kind of like create that whole thing. But what is it? What's it all about? What's it all for? And again, I think the regulation is what's really going to slow them down. But to see them still continuing to fight and think about this, I mean, it just goes to show, how big it is. And again, like your Visas and all these, they're buying NFTs, right? But they, who else better to create their own coin if there was a way to do it? Be like Visas or MasterCards. Look, we're going to be eliminated one day. It's like the digital camera, digital film, right? Kodak didn't get on board, and now they're gone.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty much, but they can't do it because they're all publicly traded companies. That's how they went out and all they raised their money in the stock market. So now they're all, regulated by the government. So, they're sitting there with their hands tied going, God, this is just so exciting. What's going on? But we can't play, and it makes it a pretty exciting time for us, because the fact that, you got a lot of the biggest players in the world with a lot of the money out there that normally would be jumping into doing some of these things that are sitting on the sidelines, sitting on their hands because they can't do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's like we've been saying, that this is something that you wake up to and you're excited every day to wake up to it, because first of all, it's an adventure, and it's fun, it's very rewarding. I mean, there's no other place where you could get the X, the 1X, 100X, 1000X, whatever, a reward for your time and effort. I mean, what's the most valuable thing you got is your time and effort, right? And instead of trading, your time and effort for dollars, you can put your time and effort and be able to leverage that and trade it for, instead of $1, $1,000, and then have it set into where now it's residual income, which is the key to everything, is residual income.
Right. And that's where, you folks out there that have got businesses that have been creating content in the past. I mean, you need to think about and really look at some of these NFTs, because if you could go back and take a lot of the things that you've already done without a lot of work and turn them into NFTs in smart contract form, you can literally create some generational wealth if you've got a big enough audience with different things, because every time they sell it, you can end up continuing to get a piece of it automatically, just paid directly to your wallet, to your Bitcoin wallet or something. So, now you can take what you used to have already done in the past that worked, that was successful, and now you can turn it into some sort of a limited edition kind of a thing that, you just got to really think outside the box. You've got to think outside the box. There's a lot of opportunity. And again, you're not going to see a lot of these things popping out by the kind of people who normally would come out with them, because they're working in publicly traded companies, so it gives everybody else the opportunity to kind of go, wow, we really got a leg up here right now, and we need to take advantage of this right now, because there's very few times that I don't think there's ever been a time in history where the average person now has a chance to do some things that are just astronomically, valuable compared to, what a lot of the smartest people in the world don't even have the opportunity to do what we can do right now.
Yep. Yeah. You're absolutely right. You nailed that. With this use case, the Kins Coin wheels that we've been working on, to kind of give you an update of what's going on there. We created the coin a few weeks ago, probably about a month and a half ago, and we've just kind of put it out to just close knit, our close circle of friends and family, and brought in some people have done some donations and got some wheels in return. You could go to the if you go to the not Ethereum, but the Binance blockchain explorer and type in wheels, you can see it. You see all the wallets are out there and the transfers and all that good stuff. So you can see the activity going on. So that's going on there, and we got the website up with this kinscoin.io, where there's a description of what we're doing and the story and the
white 30-minute video that kind of goes through the entire story,
which is a very important part of launching a coin or a token, is to get the story out there and the reason for it and why somebody would jump into that community of that token. We're working on those 3 pillars that we've been talking about of technology, community, and liquidity. And we'll have some more information on the liquidity part coming up in the next couple of weeks. So it's progressing along. It's exciting to watch this test case, use case. It's kind of turned into something pretty cool, and that's going to help out families with special needs individuals and their family. It was funny. Yesterday morning, I walked down to the local market, which is just right on the water, a couple blocks down from where I'm at. And there's this family that came over on the ferry, and they had about 4. Obviously, they were adopted kids because they're completely different ethnicity than the parents. And they're all in various forms. That one was in a wheelchair. I don't think he had any legs, and another one was kind of had some problem with his legs. And I was just smiling, like this family took on these 4 cases. It looks like it doesn't look like they were just caretakers. It looks like because all the kids would call the lady mom.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, wow. See, this is why we launched this this coin to actually make a difference and help people like that. I mean, I don't know their story, and we'll, one day we'll find out stories like that and how Wheels is able to help them continue that process. Because those are the real heroes in the world, is people that take on, they're obviously adopted. So they knew these issues existed beforehand. There's one thing about, having a kid and then having an issue, which, you and I have been through,
right.
That whole thing. And then just kind of dealing with it. And then there's another one is to
know in advance what you're walking into.
Yeah,
right?
Well, exactly. And take it on for a lifelong
accepting
job.
that responsibility.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. Those people, those are the heroes of the world, in my opinion.
Well, they really are, and I think that, they're accepting that responsibility. Obviously I'm sure that they are in a pretty good financial positions because they understand what's going on. And, you can't just bring in a bunch of kids like that and just throw them onto your insurance policy and you can expect a whole bunch of, they've got to have the financial resources, and I'm sure they've got a really good team of people. It's nice to see people really caring on that level to being able to do that, because it takes a lot. Okay. It takes a lot financially, and it takes more, even more important is probably, it takes so much emotionally.
Yeah.
It takes so much emotionally. I mean, as parents, that's something nobody's prepared to, you're excited about having a baby, and all of a sudden you have a child that has special needs issues and things. And, you're not going to love them any less. Okay. But your life is going to be, they always say, as soon as you have a child, your life's never going to be the same. Okay?
Yeah. That's true.
And it's not. And it's one of the most true statements ever. But, once you find out also that you've got a child that's got special needs, okay, now your life's not going to be the same either. Okay. Yeah. Now you've got different variables that are in there, and, this isn't like you were playing poker and the cards changed. It's like, this is something that none of us are prepared for it. And I feel really good that we're going to be able to use this test case to go out there and really do a lot of good things in the community while we sell these 8.8 billion coins. 80% of that's going to be going right into that community. And as we're doing that and developing this community with the charity and celebrity golf tournaments and things along those lines, we're also going to be going out to the other charities and organizations out there that can use this same model. They can go back and turn their past content into NFTs, okay, and create a coin for their founders and their loved ones at their charity, and boom, just start sending out some emails and having people come in and donate the same way they donate, except now they're going to get coins in return. And those coins are going to have some tremendous value. I really believe that we're going to change the way the charities and foundations and nonprofits raise money, the same way that Airbnb changed the way people travel and Uber changed the way people get around town. Turning communities into economies. That's the new message.
Yeah, that's a great slogan, and we actually modified the logo for KidsCoin that put that in as the slogan in there, because that's in the future in order to make a change, it takes some sort of karma, it takes some sort of currency, it takes money to get things done in this day and age, and so these tokens are a big part of fueling, this charitable effort that we're doing in this use case that we put up. So it just the fact that it's turning into something that's just awesome. The fact that it's progressing forward and people are participating is awesome. I can't wait till we can show you our first family that we've helped. We're in the process of getting that done right now. So it's exciting. It's fun to wake up to do this. I got my great job that I have over at Market Hive, but this is also something fun to do with helping helping others and using the brain power that you and I have, that we've been accumulating all these 30, 40 years of in business and the ups and downs, and be able to take that and pour it into something like this is awesome.
It really is, and it's going to be awesome. It's really awesome because I'm going to, I want to, leave something to, that my brother, kind of memorialize my brother. Okay. I mean, he lived for 46 years. They said he wouldn't live to be 18. And he lived literally half his life, 23 years on a ventilator.
Wow.
7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days with a tube in his throat to breathe for him. And, he was just such a tough kid, and he just thought he wanted to be cured. He wanted to be, like normal and everything else. And so this is a way to, go out and hopefully help change the way that the fundraising and charities, the way they raise money, because, right now, I think a lot of them are just stuck, they're stuck because, a lot of them use different phone rooms and things like that to raise money. And that can cost you 60 or 70 cents on the dollar. Okay. And then you've got overhead and salaries and employees and all these other kinds of things. And, it's not like they're publicly traded companies. They can't just go issue more stock or you have things worth more money. They only got what they've got there. So this is really going to help, these charities and foundations and stuff be able to just stockpile a whole bunch of money and use that money to now go out and accomplish what your goals and dreams are with it. So it's, and the fact that you've got a community already that's a believer in what you're doing, being able to turn that community into an economy by literally creating your own currency for that community is, I think, one of the most powerful things in the world. I mean, talk about the land of opportunity. It's like, I was telling my wife over the weekend, I said, it's a funny thing, 6 weeks ago or so, it's like, I just kind of woke up one day and decided I'm going to create my own currency. Okay, let's see how that works, and it's like, but you can actually do this stuff. And there's so many, it's going to be unbelievable, man. It's just going to be unbelievable to see what happens when you go out in front of a big community and you show them the benefits of them all wanting to participate, and have their own coin and use that coin for, those types of things. It's going to change the world. I mean, it's really going to change a lot of things in the world. It's going to change a lot of people's financial status at the same time. So it's a real win-win situation. This is not a Me Too kind of a deal out there. I mean, we are swimming in blue ocean, guys. Okay. Everybody else out there, most every other business in the world, you're swimming in a red ocean with a bunch of sharks, the toughest, strongest people out there and businesses out there. They got all the money in the world to go up against you. And it makes it really, really difficult to do stuff. Right now we are in a blue ocean. Okay.
Yep.
And we're not talking about doing little tiny things in the blue ocean either. We're talking about having the ability to do some globally changing things. And I'm really excited to be where we're at. Real proud to have a great technology partner in Doug that I've got over there. And I think we've got we're going to have an amazing team. And I got a call coming up here in a few minutes to talk to some other people about filling in some of the other pieces of the puzzle. I think is going to be pretty amazing too. So
yeah, it's
in the right place, man. Stick around and head over to kenscoin.io to see what we are doing. Back to you. What do you got to say before we take off for today?
Yeah. Stay tuned. That last thing you just mentioned, we're trying to do some very unique things on the marketing side of the things to grow the community part of that lake, and that's what you're doing. You're thinking outside of the box, so that's going to be exciting to see how that plays out, and we'll share that with you as it's we're in the middle of this thing, we're not hiding anything from anybody. It's just progressing on, and things are popping up. And traditional marketing and traditional, even digital, and it's good to one sense, but in some sense, you shouldn't put control of your business futures in the hands of somebody else that may or may not display your ads or host your articles or whatever like that. So we're trying some interesting things that it's going to be fun to share once we get through it, and we'll share with you how it is and how we're going to get it done.
Yeah, it really is interesting. I can't tell you, and that's been one of the other things that I've kind of struggled with. This is how do we get this out to the world the right way, and how do we really do this the right way? Because I've been involved with Facebook or Google advertising campaigns, and you go out and spend $10,000 or $20,000 to figure out what you're doing, and you get a system down to where now you can start to get a real good return, and all of a sudden they shut your account down for whatever reason, and you can't talk to anybody, and it's like, and your money's gone, and it's like,
or even they change the algorithm, and everything you've done is doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't work anymore, and it's
not like they're changing the algorithm to help people. They change it for I don't know. I'm not going to get into that, but you're right. Putting your future in the hands of somebody else who does not care about your future is not a smart thing.
No, you got to take care of yourself, and that's why you got to think outside the box, guys. I mean, you really got to think outside the box. This is a different world that we live in. And I mean, I can't even tell you since we started going down this road, Doug, I mean, how many different iterations and changes and things has this thing changed that we're working on, and how much exponentially grown since the initial concept. I mean, it's really mind-boggling.
Yeah. And I don't know if I would label it as a change, but more of a refinement, I think.
Right.
Because when your core
evolution of thinking, right? We're just continuing to evolve our thinking, looking at all the pieces out there and every piece it touches, and saying, Tony Robbins has been a mentor of mine for over 30 years. Okay. And one of the things that I really love is, he says that, the quality of your life comes down to the quality of the questions you ask yourself. Okay. And I really believe that. Okay. I really believe that, rather than, I remember when I used to have, 5 offices, 300 guys working for me, doing $60 million a year in sales. I'd be out on the road going from office to office to office, and I'd be home on a Friday afternoon. I have a stack of 40 messages, right? And I'd go, oh God, why do I have to do this? Why does this always happen to me? Kind of stuff, And when you ask yourself questions like that, your brain comes back and gives you answers, but they're not the most empowering answers that you can have, right? So, I started thinking about, okay, wait a minute, what would Tony say? What kind of questions would he ask? And I look at the stack and I go, how can I do this and enjoy the process? Okay, well, that's pretty good. I look out, I'm right on the Pacific Ocean here, about, on a bluff about 100 feet above the ocean. I got a big deck out there with a jacuzzi. Why don't I just go make myself a drink and go sit in the jacuzzi and take the cordless phone out there and start making some calls? And I was like, okay. Now it wasn't such a tough thing to do, but going through this since we've started thinking about what we're going to do with this Ken's coin, I just keep asking myself, what can we do to make it better? What can make it better? And when you do that, it's amazing. What can happen. The quality of your life really does come down, I think, to the quality of the questions you ask yourself, and what you focus on is what you'll end up with. If you focus on, the wrong stuff, or you're worried about the wrong stuff, it's like, you get what you focus on in life, And playing golf, it's the same thing. I'll go out on the golf course and I'll sit there and I'll look at this lake over on the right. No, but you see, don't hit it in the lake. Don't hit it in the lake, and your mind just hears, hit it in the lake, and next thing you know, you're hitting it in the lake. It's like, you start focusing over there. Oh, I'm going to hit it right over there. We're going to hit it right over there. It's like, it's just amazing. Your mind, our mind is this amazing thing, but it's not over, and it doesn't come with a user's manual. And it was programmed by people that really got no business programming our brains, which is our parents, right?
Right.
So we
spent all our younger years getting programmed, and the rest of our life deprogramming.
Deprogramming, and kind of changing that. Oh my God. But that's the other thing that's hard is, it takes 21 days to affect change. So first thing you got to understand is that if you want to change, you've got to consciously be aware of what it is you're trying to do. And you've got to you got to go make those changes. And
Yeah.
you know, it's like if I wanted to start shaving on the left side of my face, I'd have to literally put a little tag up on the mirror that said start shaving on the left side of your face. And I'd have to do that for, 21 days. And once I do that, I could take the note down, and that would now be a new habit. You know? So this has been fun, guys. I got another call coming up I got to get ready for. So we will be back here same time, same channel tomorrow. Anything else, Doug?
That's it. See you guys tomorrow.
All right, guys. Thanks.